today we are going to see the part 2 of the conflict resolution video, and I've provided the link in the description. So please do watch the part 1 to get convinced that I can resolve a conflict. Okay, and this video we are going to talk about the 5 conflict resolution styles which we generally use, and we may use most of the styles, and that should be one dominant style which we use most often. So let's see one by one. So before understanding these styles, you should keep in mind two things. One is, are we actually going towards a people, or are we inclined towards our goal? So there are two type of things, like people, whether they want to resolve resolve the conflict and get very closer to the people. Are they people oriented, or are they goal oriented? Are they just wanting the task to be done and not caring about the people here in hand? So based on that, we have 5 styles, as I told you earlier. The number 1 style, let's go to, that is turtle. So as I already told in the part 1 of the video, it is very wrong idea to even refrain or avoid the conflicts. So these turtles are the ones who avoid the conflict, and they are very low on the task as well as low on the people. They don't care either for the goal as well as the persons. So this kind of conflict resolution style is not going to take us anywhere, because this turtle style, whoever follows may even lose a relationship, or they just stay in a relationship which is going nowhere. Right? So the avoidance is the worst style a person could ever use, and if you think you're a turtle, high time that you change your style to a better style, which I'm going to discuss shortly one by one. So let's go to the next style, which is shark. So just listen to this to see if you're a shark. So shark are the ones who actually give lot of value to the goal and not to the people. So they just want to get the task done, and they push people, and to get the task done, they don't mind losing the person also. Shark, when we talk about the pros and cons of turtle, there is no pros and cons. It's absolutely a wrong technique or a wrong style to even have it. But when it comes to shark, I would say it is okay-ish technique when it comes to strangers. But again, it's a big no, because I always believe that it's like a boomerang, and the effect can come back to you also. Even with a stranger, you should not be a shark, because you can get your way done, but then you will lose a person. And if you're going to have a very strained relationship with even the stranger, it might affect you very later in your life, or any time in your life also. So again, my humble advice is, don't be a shark, because if you're a too much task oriented person, you might tend to be a shark, especially if you're a dominant personality. And in interpersonal relationship, especially in a marital relationship or in a team working relationship, sharks often fail, because they always work with a passive partner, and a passive partner may be in the receiving end of your dominance, but then I don't know how far they can take it, and one point they may even break it, or they may even burst out. So this is definitely not a good style. Please change your technique to a better technique, which I'm discussing here. So the third technique is teddy bear technique. So by the very terms teddy bear, it is smoothing. So as you would already guessed it, teddy bears are high on people and very low on task. They are okay to even bend for everything and anything for not losing their person in their life, but they get nowhere when it comes to tasks. So they are always like a sacrificing person and a cuddling person, who are always giving in a relationship. They are never there to receive anything from a partner. I mean, receiving in the sense I'm talking about love and affection, or getting their things done, and they're always on the giving end only. So the problem with the teddy bear is, usually teddy bear smoothing techniques are seen in marital relationship, but if it is going to be there for a very long time, let's say teddy bear and a shark combination, as I told earlier, it may come to a crash very soon, because these teddy bears may lose their cool at some point, because they are going to get frustrated beyond a point, because there is always a tolerance level beyond which they feel like, I'm always giving, and what is that I'm getting out of this relationship? So again, my humble request is, don't be a teddy bear as well. Maybe in certain situations where you think others' needs are more important than yours, or you think that you can just give up your needs for their satisfaction, only in few circumstances you can be a teddy bear, and not always. And next, let's go to the next technique, that is a fox, that is compromise. So here, talking about the pros and cons of being a fox, I would say when the time is less and you just have to make sure the conflict is resolved and get the task done, you can opt for this fox technique, wherein there is a 50-50, people are actually coming halfway and meeting, and there is a transaction, there is a deal, people are meeting in a midway and shaking hands and going on. Okay, you do this for me, I'll do this for you, and in this way we are actually getting the goals done. But actually, are we retaining the people is not a very good technique. So in case of retaining a people, fox technique is not a very good technique, because we are just focused more on the task, because the time is less. But if you really want to retain the person in relationship, then you need to go for the next and the last and the best technique, which I've been telling you for a long time. Don't be a turtle, and don't be a shark, or don't be a teddy bear, and don't be a fox. And who else I can be? Be an owl. So that is a negotiation technique. So this is the best technique, wherein you are high on people and as well as high on task. You get both the goal done as well as you retain the person. So you may be wondering, like in a theoretical terms, of what she's talking about. So I'll give an example for you to understand which technique and how it can really work well. So I'll just give a small story to make you understand this 5 styles here. So let's imagine there were 2 friends, and let's name them X and Y. Okay, so let's say X was very much in a giving, like he was giving and loving. Both were loving each other, like as usual, they are friends, but they were very loving and respectful for each other. And when this kind of friendship was going on for a long time, let's say like 10 years, let's say, so they both were working in the same company. And the person X was actually, you can imagine about these person, I'll give you a little bit background about these person X and Y. So person X is actually married, and he's got a child, and he's in a beautiful marital relationship. And let's talk about person Y. And person Y is a bachelor, he's single, and he's got a lot of issues with his personal life, with his parents, and this is the background about them. And person X is actually very loyal and committed to his wife, and he's also very good at and very hard worker at his job, and he does a lot of work, because the person Y gets usually depressed and all that, so he does a lot of work for Y in his absence. He helps him with his task and all that. So this usually goes on, and the friendship is really good. And there comes one particular day where person X wants help from person Y, because person X's wife is actually hospitalized, and he has to get one day off from his work so that he can go and visit his wife and accompany her, because she's very sick. And he goes and asks person Y, I really want a favor from you, because my wife is sick and I really want a favor, and can you please take care of my work today? And just listen to what the person Y has said. The person Y says, I don't understand why I should be doing your work for which you are paid. You better do your work, and I can't help you at this point because I've got a lot of works to do. And this is the response from person Y. And here I want all of you to think for a while how you would respond in this situation, because this is a very difficult situation, and person X has been helping person Y for very long period, and just one day he needed a help and person Y was not available. And you can imagine what would be the plight of person X here, because he is already so frustrated, so depressed and upset and sad that his wife is hospitalized, and now this best friend of him is not even helping him. So generally what people would do in these circumstances is that think very ill of person Y, and even want to sever the ties with this. No, I just don't want this friendship, they would say. But then I just wanted to think for a moment and think about the owl technique which I was talking about. Because this scenario, what generally people would do is go for a turtle. Okay, avoid this friendship. Okay, from tomorrow I will act as if nothing has happened between two of us, and I will just say hi, bye to you, and not express what I wanted, and not express how I felt very bad when you turned down my request, and just be numb with you. And I'm sure one day you will understand, like in movie climax, and say that I've done a great mistake, and imagine person Y seeking the forgiveness of person X. Do you think it's going to happen? It's really not going to happen. So this turtle technique that's why I told you it's very bad, and this is going to sever the relationship, sever the ties between these two forever. The friendship of 10 years is just going to be slashed because of this kind of technique, that which is avoidance. And the more the person X is going to avoid Y, then there is not going to be any communication further. And you may think that this person is actually betrayed the trust of the person X, and why would he even go and talk to Y? But just think for a moment. There should be a benefit of doubt given here, provided knowing the background of this, the amount of years they were actually good friends. So when I think about shark, what shark would have done is, that is, if X has used the shark techniques, he would have forced, I have helped you so far and today you are going to help me, or I'm going to fire you. If he is going to use a shark technique, again he is going to lose the friendship of Y. So again, shark is not good. And being a teddy bear, imagine X being a teddy bear and he's going to be like, very smoothing the person Y and saying that it's okay, you don't help me, I will take care of it and I will help you tomorrow also. If he's going to continue doing this, do you think it's a good technique? And his resentment towards Y is going to grow very gradually, and it's going to reach a point where he is going to be intolerant and lose the ties with, again, person Y. So again, teddy bear is not a good technique. And being a fox, maybe it can help to certain extent. He can tell him, let's go for a quick compromise. You just take care of my work today and I will do your work tomorrow. The entire day I will do work for you. Actually, there is no need for a person X to work for Y, because he has been helping him and he can return his help, he return the favor now. But then for the time being, he has to visit his wife. So this kind of transaction or a fox technique can help him to a certain extent, because he should not let his emotion overwhelm him so that he's not able to get the day off to see his wife. So some kind of transaction keeping away his emotion can make some sense. But again, in long run, the friendship is going to get ruined. So the best technique is owl technique, by which it's called the negotiation technique. And here where he's going to strike a conversation with person Y and make sure his friendship as well as his goal are going to be actually reached in a more beneficial way, in a win-win situation. So how do we do this, and what are the skills required for resolving this kind of conflict? Is there even a point to resolve this conflict? Is it even sounding more normal? All that we are going to see in part 3 of this conflict resolution skills video. So stay tuned to this and have a very nice day. Take care. Bye.